Okay, these are the two little pumpkins that are ready to get their little stems. And I just pull the one over here I've already done. I just do a little thing that just looks like a stem, and I like this little angled tip on the top of it, and that's just what I kind of go for whenever I pull in the little stem. And I do like a very thick amount of paint, so it does take a few minutes for the stems to actually dry to where I can go back and add the little highlight on them to give them a little more detail. But while they are drying, I am going to take this brush, and I posted a link to these brushes on my Facebook page this morning, and it's a set of 5. They're some kind of nail tech brushes, but I order them from China, and they just have the nicest little tips for doing leaves and things like that. So I'm going to take some yellow and green that's just out on my palette, and see how I like to pull in the 3 little leaves at the base of the stem. I just think it helps add a little more dimension. And I just kind of touch. It's almost like a touch, press, and then as I lift it, I kind of turn it so that I get that little point to the leaf. And I learned this years ago from watching Priscilla Hauser on the Carol Duvall show, and this was how she showed making leaves. Of course, she was using different brushes, but I just used the same little technique to make my leaves still today. So that's how easy the leaves are, and since that's still a little wet, the stem work is, I'm going to show how I use, this is a liner brush, and this is a very old one, and they don't make this brush anymore, and I haven't really experimented with some of my others to find one that still will produce what this brush will. So I kind of have to force it to give me the look that I want, but so far it still works. But I thinned down some dark green paint, and using just the tip of the brush and a curling motion, and it does take thinned paint. You want it to kind of be like ink pen consistency paint. And I like to do 3 of the little curly things, because if you've ever seen pumpkins and squashes and all that stuff that's in that family of fruits and vegetables, they all have these little curlicue things. So I like to do this just to kind of give it that little look of authenticity. So there's the leaves and the curlicues added, and I'll let this dry, and I'll come back and show you how I finish off the stems and add the rest of the greenery.